Hey, welcome back to the channel. And this week we're talking about a historic area that's very sought after, that's always looked up, and that I've touched on in other videos. It's called the Belmont Hillsboro area, and stick with me and we're going to talk all about why it's so loved and what that cost is. Belmont Hillsboro is a historic district in Nashville. Now, it was listed on the National Register of Historic Places and listings in Davidson County in 1980. And the area homes are now protected by Belmont Hillsboro Neighborhood Conservation Zone, which creates rules for homeowners within that district. So if you buy in there and you have a historic home, you may have some things that you have to maintain according to that district's requirements, or when you do renovations and things. It's a lovely, eclectic area. It's beautiful. I lived there. Let's see, I moved there 30 something years ago. I moved out 27 years ago. So, there you go. It's a charming place. I love the area and I wanted to talk about it today. Okay, so as we've talked about before on some of my 5 hip neighborhoods and things like that, the Belmont Hillsboro area used to be part of the Adelicia Ackland estates, okay? And so that was, owned by her in 1890, and that's the oldest parts of the area began to subdivide into neighborhoods that local families bought and began to populate. So the Belmont Land Company started operating a street railway line there on Belmont Boulevard in 1901, and the area surrounding the streetcar railways continued to develop as a popular suburban area to the west of Belmont Railway Line. That is according to Wikipedia and everything else. Now I can tell you that, Belmont University, what is known as Belmont University today, was a finishing school called Ward Belmont, where my grandmother and my 2 great aunts went, and many of your family members may have gone there as well. But that's the origin of that university. Started out as a finishing school for young ladies in Nashville, who then oftentimes went on to Vanderbilt to go to the university. So that's what it was, and it's very historic and it's very well known for that. Lovely, beautiful grounds and things like that. Well, the neighborhoods around that were developed in that time, and you have some really neat architectural styles over there, from bungalows and cottages to 2 stories to other things that now you might have a contemporary build along the way. Certainly in that Belmont area, you've had some development and some tear downs that have become into what you're used to seeing on the internet. But again, if you're in that historic side, you may have to renovate according to what is preferable for them according to the Historic Society. So just to give you, take you from your historical thing into modern day Nashville, 21st Avenue became one of the busiest parts of the growing area. And that 21st Avenue turns into Hillsboro Road and takes you straight into Green Hills, where you can go to my favorite mall. And so the street became home to gas stations and pharmacies and grocery stores and pet shops and bakeries. And residents of Hillsboro Village were drawn to the street as its central business district. So that also takes you on down towards Vanderbilt. It can take you straight on into and curve and split into Midtown area of Nashville. So it's definitely a well-known route in Nashville, and it takes you right through one of my favorite places. So Hillsboro Village is a thriving area. Belmont area is lovely, and we're going to talk a little bit about that price per square foot and what you can expect in that area today. Okay, so when you're talking about the types of homes in that area, you are talking about the cottages and, the bungalows that I love. I think they're really cute. American Foursquares, Tudors, and you have some contemporary styles as well. So I definitely touched on that. You have some different styles that came in the 1980s. It sounds so long ago, doesn't it? But anyway, a majority of Hillsboro Village was listed on the National Register of Historic Places during that time. And only 3 miles separate downtown Nashville and Hillsboro Village is that area specifically. So needless to say, the close proximity of the neighborhood to downtown Nashville may have made it a great location for businesses and families to settle. So Hillsboro Village is located definitely in Davidson County, so you have that tax structure, and it's considered to be part of Nashville proper. And so that is, of course, in our Nashville MSA. It is just a neighborhood there, and it's a darling one, and I loved it. I lived there for a greater portion of gosh, 7, 8 years, greater portion of a decade. So loved it. And it is very different now than when I moved out of there. When I moved back, I couldn't afford $1 million tear down in a place in Nashville to raise my child. So that's why I did not move back there from California when I moved back 23 years ago. But it is absolutely thriving, beautiful, changed a lot, and it's neat. So Hillsboro Village definitely has a well-known flair for musicians. We've got old Brown's Diner up there. It's the best cheeseburger. I'll put it up against anybody's. Welcome in and out, but Brown's Diner is your old perfect burger for the area. But you definitely have a lot of musicians were in that area. You know, it's just got a rich history for Nashville, and it's well preserved. So it's definitely a cute thing. Let's jump into some of that real estate. Okay, so Belmont Hillsboro is considered a top place in Nashville to buy, and it's due to its charming historic character, okay? You have a high walkability aspect of it, a strong sense of community, and excellent schools and convenient location near major universities in downtown Nashville. So some of those key factors are contributed by the historic charm and the architecture that we just touched on. And the neighborhood is renowned for its beautifully preserved historic homes and featuring a diverse mix of early 20th century architectural styles that I just mentioned, like, you know, the cottages, the bungalows, the four squares, Tudors. So you've got a really eclectic mix of darling, charming atmosphere about it. So it's very, very desirable in Nashville as a place to locate. Now, it's also very centrally located. So if you want to get anywhere, just like when we talked about on the Gulch last week, you are so centrally located, you can live in it, get to the heartthrob of the city and get out of that and back out just a little bit, and you're kind of below that 440, right at the 440 loop of Nashville, which kind of puts you above that midtown, kind of close to that West End, Vanderbilt vibe, and it definitely gets you out of that hustle and bustle of the immediate city, but you definitely have hustle and bustle over there. Okay, it's highly trafficked. Okay, so when we're talking about the lifestyle over there, you've definitely got your universities. You've got Belmont, you have Vanderbilt close by, you've got Vanderbilt Medical, you have a very walkable area, Hillsboro Village in their commercial district, which, you know, has a lot of great local places to visit, hip cafes, trendy boutiques, you know, trendy restaurants. You have the Belcourt Theater over there, which is historic, and the popular 12 South neighborhood is not very far from there at all. It's a short walk or bike ride away, certainly a drive, you're right there. Your proximity to the universities is absolutely perfect. When I lived there, we had a ton of Vanderbilt and Belmont kids that lived in the neighborhood as well, but you also have a ton of professors and young professionals, physicians, you know, people that are affiliated with anything. The university can certainly be there as well. And then you have people who've just chosen to live in that area for a very long time. It's lovely. Great place to buy and turn into a rental later. Certainly a great place to develop your real estate portfolio. I'd love to help you do that. And wish I had. When I lived there, I could have bought in that area for $200,000. Oh my heavens, no way could I do that now. So I wish I had done that, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Yeah, so keep that in mind. When we talk about developing that real estate portfolio, let's get on and talk one-on-one, and let's talk to my lender about what you possibly could do, because hey, that's something to think about in the Nashville market. It is absolutely booming all around Tennessee, definitely in the Middle Tennessee area, and we want to know if you could possibly do that, because that is a great area in which to buy. Okay, so jumping into the real estate values, I have got to say that it's been a very stable market. It has continued to climb upward. It has had a median price per square foot in the Belmont Hillsboro area of Nashville, approximately somewhere between $408 and $552 per square foot. Now that is a very big gamut, but it also depends on the type of property. We've learned that on this channel. We talk about that all the time. There's different sources that report different figures to this, and that's, you know, basically due to the data and the timing and the methodology, but that's why you get on and you talk to me. I will get area specific, we'll get home specific, that's a general thing, and I'm a licensed realtor and I can look at all those aspects. The median listing price reported as of late September 2025 was $919,000, while the median sale price was $1.2 million. So let me discuss that again. I told you just a few minutes ago, when I left Hillsboro Village. Gosh, I can't even tell you when it was, but it was definitely 27 years ago. When I left there to move to California, I could have bought in that area for $200,000 or so, maybe $4 max, and have a nice bungalow, cottage, you know, that type of thing. We're not talking about a little one-bedroom condo. I could have bought the house for that and the land. I cannot even touch that now. So again, definitely the increases have been sustainable. It's a wonderful area. It has done nothing but go up. It's a great place to buy for return on investment, something to consider when moving to Nashville and having all that hip, vibrant stuff right near you. I mean, you've got West End, you've got the West End corridor, you've got 12 South, you can get to the Gulch in a minute. Music Row gets on down from Belmont on all the way down to Division and heading into that Broadway jump in that, you know, downtown area. It's a wonderful area in which to live for a centrally located vibe and not be quite in that, get out of it a little bit, still feel like you have tree-lined streets and, you know, that walkable aspect, little parks nearby that you can take your dog to, or your, you know, go and run and be nearby. So great area in which to live in the Nashville area, and be kind of still in all the things that you might want to get to and party with and do during your fun weekend ventures. When you're talking about your median sale price per square foot, that is up 34.6% year after year. So again, great place to buy for return on investment, great place for us to talk about when you're developing your real estate portfolio, and I want to be your girl on that. Again, get on, click on the links and talk to my favorite lender. We'll get on your no pressure, all things you, one-on-one call together and talk about more specific things about you and your family and where you might want to be, but maybe Belmont Hillsboro might be your option. Okay, where are we going to go when we want to get outside? We can go to the Fannie Mae Dees Park, which is right off Blakemore Avenue. It's a compact park. It has a unique mosaic dragon sculpture, playgrounds, and tennis courts and picnic areas. Very cute. My daughter would love that. She's the dragon queen. She draws them better than anybody I've ever seen. Severe Park, which is on Leland, located in the adjacent 12 South neighborhood. This park has playgrounds and walking paths and hosts events like Weekly's Farmers Market. And Love Park, which is a hilltop park that provides peaceful surroundings and views of Nashville skyline. It's very pretty up there, and it's little, it's quaint. You're also close to McCabe's, where you can get outside as well. So you're really centrally located. You're close to the Parthenon if you wanted to go that route and get into a bigger urban environment. You're just not far from anything when you live in that Belmont Hillsboro area. So something to think about. Absolutely have that outdoor. Your homes will have a little bit bigger yard too. You will actually maybe have a yard. That's appealing. I mean, these are not zero lot lines. They are smaller. Some can be bigger, but definitely having your own independent yard and back into that single family home situation can be very, very appealing. And your business area is still lovely. I mean, you've got some great places to go. I just mentioned Brown's Diner. You've got the Pancake Pantry. You've got the Belcourt Theater that was reimagined in 1920s. You can get independent films there. It's wonderful. Other movies as well. And you have some great places to shop along that 21st Avenue area in Hillsboro Village. Some of the greatest restaurants and coolest places to go when I lived in the village were there, and some have been redone and bought and sold, but definitely one of the hippest places to be when I was there. So still is. Nothing's changed. It's just gotten better. So where are we going to go when you come to town? Well, if you do not know for sure that you're buying in Nashville, then you can get my reload guide. We'll get on our one-on-one call. We'll talk about the time frame in which you intend to live here. That's something important to consider. You're going to need to drive around and get to know the areas. I suggest doing it in our high traffic times, AM and PM drive times. I definitely think that you need to do that and get to know an area, whether you feel like it calls you home. When you're ready to buy, we will get on, like I said, we'll talk to the lender, we will absolutely make sure that this is the area in which you want to be, and we'll go and look at homes in that area. I definitely want to work with you. Thank you so much. If this information has been interesting to you, like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get on our call together and talk about what's important to you and your family, and let's see if Belmont Hillsboro might be your area. There's so much to discuss about it that we definitely can't touch on all that in one little video, but I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Please leave your comments down below, and until next week, see you next time.